Hương Thơ và chương trình Góc Cạnh Cuộc Sống của Sài Gòn TV xin mến chào quý vị và các bạn. Thưa quý vị, hạnh phúc là được làm việc mình yêu thích và yêu thích việc mình làm. Trong khi đó, thành công là được đeo đuổi sự đam mê và biến đam mê thành sự nghiệp. Trong chương trình Góc Cạnh Cuộc Sống ngày hôm nay, Hương Thơ xin mời quý vị theo dõi một câu chuyện gương thành công của ông Treb Heining, một người đã từng là một cậu bé bán bong bóng ở Disneyland, nay đã trở thành một doanh nhân thành đạt, một nghệ nhân đã biến nghệ thuật bong bóng và kinh doanh lên một tầm cao mới. Hương Thơ đang có mặt tại tư gia của ông và xin mời quý vị theo dõi cuộc nói chuyện này với ông Treb Heining. Welcome to the show and thank you for taking your time to talk with me today.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I wish I could speak in Vietnamese.
Kính thưa quý vị, trước khi bắt đầu cuộc nói chuyện này thì Hương Thơ xin có vài dòng giới thiệu về ông Treb Heining.
Treb Heining là một biểu tượng của giấc mơ Hoa Kỳ. Sinh trưởng tại thành phố Garden Grove trong một gia đình có 5 anh chị em. Năm 15 tuổi, ông tìm được công việc đầu tiên là bán bong bóng bơm hơi tại khu Fantasyland thuộc Disneyland với tiền lương là $1.35 cho một giờ. Công việc này đã cho ông cơ hội học hỏi nghệ thuật trình bày và bán hàng, cũng như tập luyện kỹ năng đặc biệt là ông có thể buộc 1.000 quả bóng bằng tay trong vòng 1 tiếng đồng hồ. Năm 1971, Heining được chọn là một trong 6 thiếu niên có tên gọi là Balloon Boys để giúp chuẩn bị 50.000 quả bóng trong ngày khai trương công viên giải trí Walt Disney. Đây là một kinh nghiệm nhớ đời đã ảnh hưởng đến sự chọn lựa sự nghiệp sau này của ông. Sau những năm học đại học, năm 1979, Heining quyết định theo đuổi niềm đam mê và tạo sự nghiệp của mình với những quả bóng bay qua việc thành lập công ty đầu tiên có tên là Balloon Art by Treb. Sau 40 thập niên, từ một cậu bé bán bong bóng ở Disneyland, nhưng nhờ có tầm nhìn xa, cộng với tài năng, óc sáng tạo, sự cần cù, tự tin và kiên trì theo đuổi đam mê của mình, Treb Heining đã trở thành một doanh nhân thành công, chủ nhân của một doanh nghiệp quốc tế có 4 tập đoàn, tiên phong trong việc kinh doanh bong bóng bán chạy nhất mọi thời đại, với những thành quả làm hàng triệu người trên thế giới phải kinh ngạc. Trong suốt thập niên 70, sau bao nhiêu thử thách, Treb Heining đã chứng minh rằng những tác phẩm với hàng ngàn quả bóng được thiết kế với nghệ thuật độc đáo và hiệu quả đặc biệt, đầy mới lạ của ông, ngoài mang niềm vui đến những buổi tiệc gia đình, bong bóng còn có thể thỏa mãn trí tưởng tượng của mọi người, nhất là các bé thiếu nhi với những quả bong bóng hình thú vật. Những tác phẩm bong bóng của ông còn có mặt từ những buổi tiệc xa hoa của Hollywood cho đến những sự kiện quan trọng gồm có 70 buổi tiệc khai trương trung tâm mua sắm trên khắp Hoa Kỳ, Thế vận hội mùa hè năm 1984, 18 trận Super Bowl, 7 lễ trao giải Oscar, Hội chợ Thế giới New Orleans, 2 lễ nhậm chức Tổng thống Hoa Kỳ ở Washington DC, lễ kỷ niệm 200 năm Hiến pháp Hoa Kỳ, 28 lần trong lễ hội đón giao thừa ở Times Square, New York, Đại hội Đảng Cộng hòa và Dân chủ. Treb Heining cũng đạt được 3 kỷ lục Guinness thế giới và nhận được lời khen của 3 Tổng thống Hoa Kỳ. Hiện nay, Treb Heining là chủ nhân của Glass House Balloon Company Incorporation ở Anaheim, California, chuyên thiết kế và tiếp thị tất cả bong bóng được bán tại các công viên giải trí Disney trên khắp thế giới. Năm 2015, ông thành lập 2 tập đoàn mới, đó là T&H Amusements ở Hồng Kông và Magic Glass House Umbrella ở Thượng Hải, Trung Quốc. Hiện ông đang sống cùng vợ ở Newport Beach. Muốn biết thêm thông tin về Treb Heining và công ty kinh doanh bong bóng của ông, quý vị có thể liên lạc tại treb@glasshouseballoon.com.
All right, thank you so much again. And my first question is, it's typical for most Asian parents wanting their children to become a medical doctor or lawyers. Growing up, did your parents have any expectation on what career they wanted you to have?
No, they didn't. My parents didn't. They were very encouraging to have us follow whatever path that we wanted to do. So I came from a very, very good family, a great upbringing. And so I think I was taught by my mom to always think differently. My mom was a real individual. And so, but lots of encouragement from both my father and my mother to do what we wanted to do.
Do you have any negative comment about what your choice in your career was from other people outside your family?
You know, mean if they commented on my career? You know,
the beginning, though, before you become successful.
In the beginning, yeah. Everybody questioned it. I don't think anybody thought that it would last. And I had things in my head, visions that I wanted to do that I couldn't express, and I'm sure that they couldn't understand. But even still, they were very supportive. They didn't say this won't last or anything. But I think behind the scenes, I think maybe they were thinking, I don't know, you know.
Well, in the introduction, I mentioned your special skill in of inflating and tying 1,000 balloons in 1 hour. And I did witness you doing just that on the Halloween this year.
Yes.
So I learned that every year to celebrate Halloween, you will send a love 120 foot-long feather string of balloons topped by a 10 diameter pumpkin to the sky in your neighborhood. So did you develop this skill from the years of practice, or are you just a natural?
Well, it goes back to my first days at Disneyland when I was a balloon seller, and we used to have to blow up balloons for a parade during Christmas time. And so they were just regular round balloons, and we didn't like doing it, so we would challenge each other to see who could do it the fastest. And that's where I learned how to tie balloons very fast. And that's what, as we'll explain later in the show, I think, that's what led me to my idea of developing a company that did large quantities of balloons and everything. But that's where my skill was developed. And like riding a bike, once you learn it, you don't forget, you know.
I learned that you had done several odd jobs before you starting your balloon business, right? What are they?
Yes, I was in college. I was a music major. I was a trumpet player, and I thought I would go on to play professionally. And I got sidetracked. During college, I had a job delivering milk. The milk drivers, they owned their own business. So to have a day off, they had to hire somebody to run their routes. So I learned how to read all the directions and everything. And so I ran milk routes all over LA, Beverly Hills, Holmby Hills, very, very fancy places. And so I got to see a different side of life than I grew up in Garden Grove. And I got to see many celebrities and how they lived and their homes and things like that. And
who are the celebrities?
Oh, I met Jimmy Stewart and Lucille Ball and Jack Benny, Groucho Marx. I was at the Playboy Mansion all the time. Carol Burnett. And it was amazing. It opened my eyes to, ooh, this is a different side of life.
You got going to their house?
I was inside their house because we had to put the milk into the refrigerators. We dealt with the maids and the servants and everything, and they would give us a list of this is what we need, and so then we would put it into the refrigerator and stuff. So it was an amazing job. And while I was there, I met on Sunset Boulevard one time. I stopped and I went to a place called Famous Amos Chocolate Chip Cookies. And Wally Amos was the first person to open a shop with just chocolate chip cookies. And now they still is Famous Amos. But back in those days, he was just starting. I started working for Wally. And it was during those years that several things happened. But we took the cookie from just a store on Sunset to nationwide and then worldwide. And my music aspirations started going further and further down because I was getting more into business. So those are the things that I did before actually having the idea of doing, you know, balloons and things like that.
So one thing led to another,
yes,
right?
Yes.
You're so lucky to have a very odd, fun job to see all the celebrities. So I know that balloon brings memories of happiness to almost everyone's life, especially children. And I know that you love children through the way you adore your grandkids. And you also told me that children see the kid in you that never grow up. So is that an inspiration for your balloon creation, such as My Own Pet balloon? Could you tell me about this kind of balloon?
You know, the My Own Pet balloon, I found out about it on my many trips to Tokyo, Japan, and a very popular product over there. So I asked the manufacturer, a very good friend now, Nobu-san, I said, can we be the distributor for this product in the United States and so forth? So I brought it here. My love of children is because there's always been something that children see in my eyes when I play with them that they know that I'm just a big kid, even to this day. So I don't really think about bringing things just for the children. I just have always loved children, and I guess I will always be a child at heart, you know.
And tell me more about this sky balloon. I know that I would love it too. It's just not for children, right? The pet balloon, my own pet balloon.
Yeah, my own pet. They're different animals: giraffe, elephant, dinosaurs, cats, dogs, a frog. All different types of animals, and they're helium-filled, but they stay on the ground, and you can literally walk them. You know, so we have a big display over at South Coast Plaza. My distributor for our product is Burton & Burton back in Georgia, and they're the largest gift distributor in the world. And so we bring the product in, and Burton & Burton has accounts all over the country, supermarkets and specialty stores and everything that sell the My Own Pet balloon.
So it's going to be a perfect gift for this holiday coming.
It will be. It will be.
So I read your bio, and you successfully put your positive philosophy to work and have create four major corporation. So what is your secret to success?
You know, the secret that I've followed, and not really a secret, but it's just good business practices. It's being professional, thinking and dreaming big things, selling people on your ideas, and then following through to make them happen. All of my work over the years, I cannot do just by myself. So I have to work shoulder to shoulder with people. So I always show respect to those people that I work with, try and make the job as pleasant as possible, and always very positive, and don't ever give up. I never gave up, you know. A lot of times you're faced with things that people say that can't happen or that's impossible, but I always stayed very positive and don't give up. And Disneyland, when I first started, taught me a lot about professionalism, about how to present yourself, how to be professional, and that everything is a show. You know, when I walk out that door in the morning, I feel like I'm going on in part of the show. You know, so you have to show people that you're good and you're professional.
Yeah, you told me that even you telling your employees to dress nice, professionally, to meet the clients, right? To
Yes.
deliver balloons.
Yes.
So what is your new uniform code?
Well, back in the early days, I was telling you earlier, when I would do a sales call for a balloon job, like for a party or a special event, I always dressed just like you're seeing me now. I wore my suit and tie. And when I would come through the door, they would think, "You're the balloon guy?" I would say, "Yes." You know, and so, so it made it a little bit more serious, like, oh, this guy knows what he's talking about. And my employees, because I don't dress like this when we're doing the balloons and everything, but we did have a dress code in that I didn't ever let the employees wear jeans, because we were working in nice ballrooms and nice homes and places like that, and I felt like jeans were not right. So we had a black pant and a very nice shirt, but we were always uniformly dressed, so we looked like a professional team.
So, of course, in every journey of business life, any career, you're going to face some challenges. So what's your biggest challenge you have faced in your career so far?
Oh, you know, the biggest challenge so far has, you know, it's just been how to direct my time, because there's so many opportunities for you. When you start to be successful, people say, well, you should also do this, and you should do this, and you should do that. So by focusing on one thing and doing it really well, I found that was probably the hardest challenge, because you want to divert your attention sometimes. And I think if I would have done that, we wouldn't have been as successful in the areas that we did apply ourselves, you know.
So just give me a specific example of your challenge.
Well, when I was doing balloon decor all over the country, we did special events and different things for all kinds of events, and I think you'll show some of the pictures. But people said, oh, you should also deliver balloons too, or oh, you should do table centerpieces and things like that. I said, no, we're not going to deliver. No, we're not doing centerpieces. We just do large-scale events and decor. So I specialized just in that, and our reputation for that went all around the world. And we started a business in the late 70s that then became an industry, and now there are probably 50,000 people around the world that are doing balloons in some form. But they all look back on Treb Heining in the United States as the person who started everything, because I had the idea for first starting balloon decor and everything.
I think one of the solutions to deal with challenge in your mind is never give up, right?
Never give up. Never give up.
And before we go to the commercial, I just remember your name is very unique because Treb, I never know anybody with that name. Could you share with our audience where that name came from?
Yes, my father's name is Bert, B-E-R-T, and my mother was very clever. They wanted to call me Bert Jr., but my mother said, no, let's take Bert and spell it backwards, so T-R-E-B. So that's how they got my name, and it's been very much of an asset to have a name that's so unique over the years, you know.
And your creation of balloon is so unique also. Kính thưa quý vị, đến đây chúng tôi xin được tạm ngưng một vài phút để gửi đến quý vị vài thông tin thương mại và sẽ trở lại với phần 2 của một câu chuyện thành công với ông Treb Heining.